How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with new brewery time. A little bit of wandering soul up in this piece in the form of their Another Time and Place. This is a West Coast style pale ale with Mosaic hops. Yeah, new brewery time. Never had these guys before. Matt from Wandering Soul kind of reached out and he was like, "Hey, would love to send off some beers." I was like, "Hell yeah, brother." He sent off 2 of these, and I am pumped because I love me some West Coasties. You know, but you're talking about in a little bit of Mosaic vibes and some West Coast. I can kind of dig on that. So I'm kind of chomping at the bit to dive into this. Label-wise, it's cool. It's just a guitar. That's not how you say that. It's a guitar with like it's an amp, but it's like the inside of an amp because the speaker's like reversed. I don't know, but I can get down with it. Yeah, and it's mirrored. 5.8% alcohol by volume. And, man, I mean, that be clear beer. You know, not a lot of, new school breweries, I should say that. You know, they're a relatively new brewery, very small operation, but you're talking about a brewery in New England, Massachusetts, doing small batch stuff. You know, West Coast beers, not necessarily the most popular style, but it gets me kind of hot and bothered and looks very, very nice. Rich, malty in color, definitely looks bigger malt-wise than at 5.8%, a little bit darker than what you expect from like a lower ABV kind of West Coast kind of pale ale. Beautiful head on it. It's probably white as white could be, but just to how dark that coloration of that body is, it actually makes the head have a slight tinge of a tan to it and just comes off as crystal hyper clear, soft little carbonation. I'm excited. Let's get a nose. Man, that smells really, really good. It does. I mean, this nice, purposeful kind of like, I mean, it's like a crystal malt mixed with like a Maris Otter kind of thing going on here, where it gives you a nice kind of malt base, nothing too aggressive, nothing too big, but for 5 and change, it's definitely kind of that nice, sturdy malt forwardness you'd want in a nice West Coast IPA. Then you get to the hop portion of the show. I'm not going to sit here and say that the Mosaic is kind of jumping out of the room here. At the time of filming, this is 3 weeks old, but it definitely has a nice kind of snappy top kind of hot base to it. A little bit of fruitiness. Yeah, maybe that Mosaic's coming through. A little bit of fruitiness. Nice little little bit of green, but it's not like super West Coast IPA kind of greenness, but that kind of where you expect a bit of green, a bit of fruitiness from Mosaic, but nothing hyper aggressive, but it's purposeful. It's there. It's meaningful. It's just not like super sharp. It's 5 and change. You're not talking about a huge beer here, but the way the malt and the hops play in the nose. Excited for the taste. Let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah. That is like Merriam-Webster dictionary. I didn't expect it to come off like that, honestly, with the kind of calling out Mosaic. Not that you're not going to use Mosaic in West Coast IPA, but I thought calling that out, it would just be like a heavy dose of East with a heavy dose of West. It's very much a West Coast kind of pale ale. Super crisp, super clean, like lager level cleanliness on this, like cold IPA level cleanliness on this. Super snappy, super crisp. That malt base that was on the nose, it translates almost to a T in a taste. Like I said, it's like a crystal kind of Maris Otter kind of combination going on. Something a bit beefier than just a base crystal is basically what I'm trying to say. When you get to the hop portion of the show, again, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this is definitely for me what Mosaic is all about. It's not really what I'm, I wouldn't say that, but I'd say it's a really purposeful kind of hop presence. The only reason why I say it's definitely just a little bit outside of a super classic kind of West Coast IPA is this green. And the green leans danky weedy for me, as opposed to West Coast kind of resinous pineness. That is there, but there is this danky, weedy kind of, you're thinking about New England style kind of Alchemist Vermonty kind of weed characteristic to the beer. And that's what really comes through here. Again, on the level for its ABV, it's not like an 8% super ranky dank kind of thing. Before it's 5 and change, the way the malt comes off, the way the fruitiness of the hop comes off, and then you get that kind of green portion of the show, it just ends up coming off really tasty. Listen, I can sit here and wax poetic about how I think the malt base is quite nice. I could think, actually, more than quite nice, quite fantastic. How the hopping works in this. It really is the crispness and the cleanliness and the snappiness of this beer that really where everything hangs its hat. Because it is so tight. It's like tight like a drum. It's just that well made. You know, sure, malt, hops. It's 5 and change. There's not a ton to hide behind, even though there is bigger than its weight class. It's punching bigger than its 5.8%. It drinks more like 6 and change, but it's only 5%. So you're talking about something like this low ABV, even though it has some aggressive flavors to it. You know, all flavors tend to be a little bit more showy, a little bit more kind of out there when you get to this lower ABV stuff. This is not the case here. It's just super well made, super crisp. I'm glad I got 2. Because I'm going to drink the crap out of that other one. Probably going to drink it tonight, to be perfectly honest with you. This is not going to last more than a day or two, the extra. These are the kind of beers that I get doubles of. And usually I immediately start thinking of my buddy Keith over at 93 Lumber and be like, I'll toss him one, 5 and change, West Coast Pale. He'd love it. Sorry, dude. Sorry, I'm going to be a miser here and going to keep it all for myself because I think I want it. So there you go, man. Really good stuff. Seriously. Thank you very much for sending this off, man. I very, very much appreciate it. And, yeah, if I saw this, let's put it this way, and that's the weird thing, it's kind of mass only, I believe, even though I think I've seen Wandering Soul stuff in Jersey. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's just mass-based. You give this to me, 5.8% West Coast Pale, if you can sub $15, give me this to the $13 to $14 range, I'd be ripping these constantly. You get it at a $15, $16 range. I understand the way, price point works, small batch, small brewery probably is a little bit more than that. I'm kind of picking and annoying or trying to push and shove to a certain price point, but I'm saying that's where my greedy, I guess, self price point would want the beer to be price-wise. I'd be ripping the crap out of these. Yeah, all day on this. Absolutely delicious stuff. Is it one of the better West Coast Pales I've had as of late? Yes, it's up there. It kind of is, man. I mean, like I said, it's a slight variance on classic super West Coastiness, but I think it shows really pretty stuff. Let's put it up there. It's tasty. It's West Coast. It's really well made. It deserves to be there. Value and availability, no idea. Mass only. Actually, if you go to his website, you can actually find out where his beers are available. So go check him out, wanderingsoul.com. I believe it is. Just that. And if not, then I'm wrong. Just type it in Googs and you'll find it. And leave you with, if you like what, will you like this beer? If you like West Coast Pales, you want a touch of new school kind of weediness, ranky-dank to it, a little bit of different hopping, but nothing too outside of the norm, you'll love this beer. There you go. Done and done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out in the social media stuff. Let me know if you've had stuff from Wandering Soul too. Beer Massive, podcasting stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying, a little bit of West Coast jams right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.